Hi Sagittarius, this will be your video for the second half of August, so we'll get right into it. We'll take a look at love first, okay? Then we'll probably look at work and career and stuff if time allows, which it should. So let's take a look at love for Sagittarius. Sagittarius, love. Love. Exciting and new. Sorry. Oh my god, how'd that flash in my head? That's weird. The Love Boat theme song. Okay. Actually, they need to bring Love Boat on Hulu. I would love to watch those. That would be awesome. Okay, Sagittarius. Love for second half of August. Highest and clearest information, please. For Sagittarius, give me for Sagittarius in love. It's a little draggy to come out. Okay, it's the High Priestess. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Oh, all right. You go, Sagittarius. You cut them out. Uh-oh, okay. Let's see. Maybe. All right. I'll take a better look at that in a minute. Let me see. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I think you are getting ready to move on to something else. But let me see what's coming towards you here before we get into this. Okay, give me 3 cards for the other person involved in this. Give me who they are. Okay. Whew. Oh boy. All right. So we had the Ten of Swords at the bottom of the deck when I laid out your cards, Sagittarius. So the Ten of Swords is usually kind of like being done with something. All right. So I don't think that's quite yet. Hold on one second. I don't think that's quite yet, but I think it's kind of on its way is what I'm thinking. I mean, this is a soulmate situation, though, because we do have the Two of Cups here, and, you know, I feel like this is a pretty strong connection. It could be you have a choice, you know, but I don't necessarily think it's, I mean, it could be. There might be a Cancer involved, the sign of Cancer. If not, if it's not a choice between two people, it's just maybe a choice of, you know, between this person or remaining single. That could be, too. No, hang on. All right. Okay. This may be two people. I'm going to stick with what I said. All right, I'm going to stick with that. So I do. I think it's, you know, there's possibly two people involved. If not, like I said, it's maybe a choice. Should I continue this? Oh, you know what? Oh my God, so many interruptions. I'm sorry, Sagittarius. Hang on, I got to plug in my battery real quick. Sorry. Oh, wow. Oh, that was fun, I bet. Oh my God, I'm so sorry, Sat. You know what? We're going to talk about this in just a second because. All right, so that's kind of a clue right there. Honestly, I'm a big fan of looking at things like that. And it's just right from the get-go. I had this like weird card that kind of didn't want to come out and then kind of came out, High Priestess, which I always think she's always kind of messing with people sometimes. And then, you know, just, I don't know, there's something uneasy, you know, about this whole thing, and then my battery and the other stuff, and, you know, so, and I'm not blaming those things on, you know, I mean, it's my own incompetence that I forgot to put in my charger. But either way, I feel like that this whole situation is just sort of just on the verge of something, you know, and it's an uneasiness. Okay. So with the High Priestess too coming out, to me, it's this is usually a card that I really like. It's a card, you know, of strength and intuition and kind of kick-assness, you know, and that sort of thing. But the High Priestess also is sometimes kind of toys with things, you know, and so, you know, I'm kind of more inclined to feel it as this way. So that could mean this reading too. So let's take this with a grain of salt, okay? Because sometimes I feel like she can be a little bit of a trickster, if you will, all right? So I'm going to treat this very cautiously. But what I see is, you know, I do see this good connection, but I think that for some reason, and I don't know why, but I think you're better off, or at least feel like you're better off just kind of being single. I feel like this is somebody who doesn't really want to change much, okay? And not because you are so stuck in your ways or anything like that. It's just that you're kind of happy the way things are, and you're not really, you know that you could kind of move forward with this, but you're kind of okay where you are. All right, I'll just leave it at that. I think there's more to this, and I want to revisit that in a minute. But what I want to do is look at who's coming towards you in this scenario. So as far as like on the other side of who you're dealing with, the person, you know, and this could be another Sagittarius. It could be a couple of other signs too, maybe Virgo, possibly. But either way, it's like I feel like this person is sort of non-active, you know, either way with the Hanged Man. Okay, just sort of like that's their personality to me. They don't really do much either way, all right? So they're not like really super committable, but they're not committable either. You know, they're not super passionate, but they're not passionate either. You know, it's like everything's just sort of like, you know, and for a Sagittarius, I don't know if that's the best, you know, path, really. I mean, it's not bad because it might keep you kind of reined in because Sagittariuses get excited about things and like a lot of different things. And maybe it's good to have somebody that's like just sort of suspended and, you know, right down the middle on everything, you know, perhaps. But right now, like, I think like there's a cycle closing here is the way I feel from their point of view also. I think this is mutual is kind of what I see. I see them like they like you, you know, they're definitely passionate about you, all of those things, but I don't think they have the energy to kind of keep going with this, you know, and it's like it's just not them. And I feel like it's become sort of, you know, like a burden, you know, to try to keeping up with you and with this situation and this relationship. And, you know, they probably kind of just feel like they can't, like maybe they can't compete or they can't, and not because they're not worthy, not like that. It's just too weird, you know, just not working out. With the World card, I feel like this person is going to be possibly moving on. You know, it's like they're closing a cycle of some sort and starting something new. Now, that could work two ways. That could mean that they're coming out of this type of personality where they haven't taken any action. But the thing is, they have this as far as how they feel towards you in that position. So that's why I kind of think that they're more thinking of moving on, thinking of like closing this cycle as well. I feel like you feel the same way, you know, because you have the Queen of Swords. And I feel like you want to like kind of, you know, cut this person out of your life right now and just kind of relax and do you know, with the Nine of Coin. Maybe, you know, try out the single life for a while or go back to the single life or, you know, something like that. And I feel you're comfortable with everything. You know, I think actually you kind of both are, really. I see this as very mutual energy. Now, you still have a choice, though, here at the end, which is odd, so that doesn't make much sense. So let me take a look at that. Now, if you have a choice between two people, which very well could be, because I do have a couple different signs appearing here, fire sign and water. Like I said, Cancer, the sign of Cancer is very prevalent, and then a fire sign is very prevalent. But let's see. Okay. It's a 2 of Wands here for Sagittarius, please. Okay. Aquarius. Do we have Aquarius in the mix? No? Okay. Okay. I think this is a little back and forth, but I think ultimately what will probably happen is if there are two people involved, I think one is like really probably kind of handsome and like or good looking, depending if you're male, female, whatever. Very, very interesting to you, definitely. But I think the other one is just more familiar, and that ultimately I think that is probably the one that will win out. It just kind of seems like that's the way you're leaning, like, oh, okay, I'll put a little more work into this. Yeah, they're a little bit, emotional and a little bit too deep for me sometimes, or whatever. And not that Sagittarius can't be deep, but I think like mopey, that sort of thing, which you guys are not usually. But I feel like it's like you'll probably choose the person that you have like the longer history with, and kind of keep staying on that route is what I feel. Not necessarily I think what will happen is temporarily you will, feel some healing from that, feel some, positive stuff. But I think in the long run, you might regret this, okay? Because I do see some other cards that would indicate that. Now, the High Priestess, who I told you is, I'm not sure if I trust in this reading. Clarifying that is the King of Wands. So in other words, I would look at that saying, like, if there is a choice between two people, that she is saying, no, go for the one that's good looking, the one that's, that you have the more passion for, and things like that. And that may be, but again, I'm not sure if we can trust her in this particular reading. So I know that doesn't do you much good. So it's kind of, an up to you kind of thing. Honestly, I don't see any detrimental energy coming from either one if you do have a choice. So I think, either way, I think with the other one, the long-standing one, that you probably might regret it a little bit in the long run, but not horribly. I didn't see any horrible cards with any of these. Okay. So it's like, be single if you want. Cool. If that's what you choose, go for that. If you have a choice between this, like, person that maybe you've known for a little while that you've connected with, and but you just don't know, or this new passionate person, either you're good either way. But I do feel that somebody in this scenario is, and that could be the wand sign, the good looking, passionate, and not that the other person isn't good looking either. I'm just saying that's typically King of Wands. That might be the one who might be thinking about closing the cycle, though. So, that's the thing that could be like a little bit of a warning there. I know this is sort of, I just feel so uneasy with this reading. I just feel like it's not like telling you anything. It's like, I don't know. Let me see if I can just throw 3 more cards down, because it's just been kind of odd and like nothing like conclusive, just choices. So let's see if I can get just a little bit more handle. Give me 3 solid cards for Sagittarius above, please. 3 solid cards. Where is this going for the end of the month? Where is this going? Now, where's the other one? 3 solid cards for love in Sagittarius, please. A lot of times too, I will say with the High Priestess is, sometimes too, it is a matter of intuition. And that's why there's so many like kind of different scenarios. So it's like, sometimes it's not my place to give you, or not that I could give you answers, necessarily, but you know what I mean? It's like, as a reader, maybe it's like completely up to you, the situation. Sometimes cards aren't super clear for a reason. So that could be why. Okay, so we got some similar cards here. We have this Ten of Wands that came out again, this time on your side. So I'm asking for 3 very cut and dry kind of cards to kind of sum this up. And I didn't get any major arcana, all right? And I think in the last one, yeah, so, to me, this does kind of say this can go all kinds of ways, all right? But I do have, again, a very kind of clear message of another 10, which is like, ending a cycle. And if you remember, we had the 10 of swords at the bottom of the deck at the beginning too. So I really feel something is coming to an end here with one of these, people, if there's a choice. I do think there may be a third party situation involved here. I do see you walking away. You are, I feel like you've done what you can, okay? You're walking away. There may be some arguments in the near future, some back and forth, some words said, some heavy duty stuff. If so, you will probably come out the victor of those arguments if there is such a thing. But it's not really saying much either. There's just too much confusion around this situation, quite frankly, and something needs more work, and it's going to be in the future, because there's just nothing cut and dry clear coming out with these. With the 10 of wands, that's pretty clear. It's an ending. It's an ending of a cycle. It's something that's been a burden. It's just maybe passionate, maybe this, maybe that, but you just can't see it going anywhere, and ultimately you're probably not going to follow through with it because you can't see a clear path with this. So, I feel like, if you have a couple options, maybe neither one, are the ones to go with. Maybe it's best to stay single. If you have, somebody you need to cut out, and then just focus on the other one, try that, see what happens. You have nothing to lose. But either way, I see like a bunch of nothing like much getting done till the end of the month, where something will become clear, and it will be the end of one of these situations. Okay, so, and I don't see heavy heartbreak around this stuff on your side. So, okay. All right. So with that said, let's look at career and work and that sort of thing. All right. Wow. Whew. Very I don't know. There was something about that one that was just not right. not sitting right with me. Okay. Probably not with you either. Okay. Career, work and career. Work and career for Sagittarius. Work and career, Sagittarius, please. Give me, go full. Work and career for Sagittarius, please. Work and career, Sagittarius. Whoa, how about that? Hello, Ace of Pentacles falling out. I'll take that. Could be something new coming up. Good money, good raise, new job. That just totally wanted to come out. Okay, career, Sagittarius. All right, let's see what we got here. High Priestess again. Wow, right in the center too. Love it. That don't look good. All right. Okay, so chances are you have something good on its way, but it might not be here yet. So, wow, this is the unhappy Sagittarius reading. I'm sorry, guys. But I mean, it's not horrible, but okay, because I will say, I mean, Ace of Pentacles falling out, that is a really good sign. And, something is about to start, some kind of new cycle, something's getting there. And it's probably pretty grandiose in a sense of what you're used to, so it's bigger than what you're probably used to, which is cool. So, it's a new start. It can lead to some good security, something. So it could be a raise, promotion, could be a new job, whatever. But your cards aren't super favorable. So let's see. I have a feeling this is because things are not happening now. They're probably happening in September. And I know that's no fun to hear. Turn. Something needs to end. All right, something needs to end here too. This is you're probably going through a cycle where it's like a big clean house cycle, because it kind of has the same vibe almost as a love reading did, in that sense, like choices and like moving on from something that's not serving you, that kind of thing. And, when I see that consistent, that's probably, unfortunately, ganging up on you in your life right now. And, so that things can be dealt with and then turn around. But the good part is, I don't think this is going to be like a heavy turnaround. I think it's going to be a quick turnaround. So something does probably need to end here. You know, some sort of job that's not working out for you, something like that. I don't know. Or it could be not staying with the job. In other words, if you are feeling like you should be staying on top of things, but you're kind of not, and your intuition is kind of telling you that, like, hey, you know, your intuition is kind of kicking in and saying, you got to step up a little bit more at work, or you need to follow this through a little bit more, or they're going to notice, or something. Like, if your intuition is telling you that, then listen to it. And if you like the job and all that, then make sure that you are on track, because you might have personal things bothering you that are keeping you from doing your best job. You know, maybe it's telling you, no, you know, get this stuff together, make sure you do a good job so that you have a job, you know, because otherwise, you know, it could be the end. If not, if that's not the case and you're doing fine, and you are kind of kicking ass at work and all of those things, then, you know, something is changing here for you. You don't have a very positive card here, I'm going to be honest, in your position. But what is coming towards you is something that you will love, all right? So that could be a partner of some sort. You know, maybe it's just somebody, a partner stepping in and helping you financially, or it's, you know, it could be like an actual job soulmate connection where you find the job, the one that you really like, the one you really connect to. That could be too. And that could be what that Ace of Pentacles is coming in. So, you know, there's something though, there's some sort of energy here that you may have some sort of ending, or like a little bit less work than usual, a little bit less income coming in than usual, just in this small period of time. This is, remember, this is a 2-week reading, you know, so it's just a little, and it's usually not as drastic as it appears to be. It's usually not even really that noticeable a thing, but, you know, it could be too. You know, you do have the Wheel of Fortune coming, so it's like some sort of choice and juggling and things like that you've been doing. You know, maybe you've been juggling finances, you know, having to choose carefully where you put your money and all of those types of things. That is changing. You have the Magician coming in, which, you know, that gives you the tools, the resources to kind of, you know, take those 2 coins and kind of, you know, turn them into 10 coins, you know. So, I mean, that's awesome. You have things working in your favor, but it's like a little bit of a destitute attitude here, you know, a little bit of, you know, feeling kind of dejected, rejected, you know, that sort of thing, temporary, you know, temporary energy. Then you have 2 of Cups coming towards you. So I said some sort of good connection in work, maybe even a great friend at work, or, you know, some sort of support. It could even be like a boyfriend or a girlfriend that has nothing to do with your job, but they kind of help, you know, maybe they're going to help you financially get something back on track. That could be it too. Your outcome, though, is the 7 of Cups. So the 7 of Cups is still sort of, it's like having a lot of options in front of you and not necessarily knowing what to choose. So this could possibly be that work kind of takes a turn, you know, isn't what it used to be. Maybe the money's not where it should be. For a rare few of you, it could be maybe even losing a position, something like that, with this 10 of Swords at the bottom of the deck. It didn't come out, so that's why I say maybe. You know, and then maybe, you know, towards the end of the month, you end up with a lot of options. Like, okay, what do I do now? I could do this, I could do that, I could, you know, could be 50 million things. I do believe with the Magician, it is telling you you have the tools. You have the Magician and you have the High Priestess in your reading. So these are both very metaphysical cards, and they are very high cards as far as power, you know, and manifestation, and, you know, cueing in to metaphysics and that kind of power. All right. So you have that ability, and it is saying to stay on top of that. You know, very much so. Defend yourself. Defend yourself from, you know, false information. You might feel like, you know, if you're very in tune to metaphysics and things like that, you might feel like, be careful of the tarot readings you watch, which this may be one of, you know, because I did say the High Priestess comes out, sometimes she's like effing with things, you know. So, you know, this is saying stay on top of your own intuition. All right. So, you know, listen to what you feel rings true. Don't watch a bunch of tarot vids, you know, and take this one, even wash it out the, you know, window, whatever. You know, because it's not a negative reading, but it just kind of there's no power in any of these. That's what I don't like in this sense. It's like there's no sense of definitiveness in either one of these readings. All right. And I think that that's kind of where you need to be with this being in your hopes, dreams, and fears. I don't know if you can see that. My lighting sucks. It's the Ace of Swords, which is a very powerful card to me. It's about self-confidence, from a very real place. So I think that actually, I barely ever do this. It's a section I almost skip over every time. But in this particular case, I think this is the key to the whole reading. I think this is what is needed in all aspects right now of everything, is the power of truth, your truth, and self-confidence, okay? That is what's going to get all of this back on track, because I do see you going through this phase. There's a lot of stuff going on. You need to pull out of it, and get, going. You don't have horrible cards, okay? You have a couple, in both readings that give the potential of not so great. So don't get there. Don't let that happen, Stay on top of it, and, everything's good. We did have an Ace of Pentacles come out at the beginning, too. That's a really good sign. So, that there's going to be opportunities, So just make sure that you key into them and know that with the Magician there, you have the tools. Listen to your true intuition, not others, okay? And, I think this could be turned around, and you could avoid some, the tower. We didn't see the tower, but to me, it feels like you can avoid some tower moments here if you really pay close attention to you and yourself and what you truly, need to do. So, okay, sorry, I know that sounded very, I don't know, whatever, but it was an odd reading, and I do apologize for that, but, it came out the way it came out. So, it wasn't very cut and dry. It was a very odd one. So, all right, Sagittarius, good luck for the rest of the month. Hope everything works out well. And I'll see you back for September. All right. Thanks, guys.